The movie opens on a busy morning in Paradise, California, introducing us to the Jolly family. Nichole, a dedicated nurse, and her husband Nick, a firefighter, are in the midst of the usual preschool chaos with their two sons Jordan and Logan. A minor crisis erupts when Logan's prized bark beetle, a crucial part of his science project, goes missing. The search for the tiny insect is frantic, highlighting the family's dynamic and the playful rivalry between the brothers. Logan is serious and scientific, while Jordan is a typical teenager more concerned with his football game. This brief scene establishes the loving yet strained relationships, especially the subtle tension between Nichole and Nick regarding their demanding careers. Nick's work often takes him away, and Nichole's commute to Enloe Hospital in Chico means she is not always home for family dinners or events. This issue is a recurring point of contention, brought up again by Nichole's mother, who lives with them and constantly encourages her to find a job at the local Paradise Hospital to be closer to home. Nichole, however, values her team and the collaborative, patient-focused environment at Enloe. The morning unfolds with a series of small but significant details. Nick leaves for work, but not before a heated discussion with Nichole about his promise to attend Jordan's game. His absence is a sore spot for both Jordan and Nichole, symbolizing a larger feeling of Nick not being present for his family. Meanwhile, Nichole's mother drives the boys to school, a task she's happy to help with, but she uses the opportunity to press her daughter about the hospital job. The conversation, though friendly on the surface, reveals the deep-seated disagreement about Nichole's professional choices and their impact on the family. As they drive, the wind is unusually strong and dry, and they hear a radio report about a fire in Pulga, miles away. The mention of rolling blackouts in town due to the high winds serves as an ominous prelude to the disaster. At a coffee shop, Jordan expresses his frustration with their small retirement town and his eagerness to leave for college. His conversation with his grandmother touches on the unique quirks of Paradise, like the donkey derby and a jar for collecting baby names, which she tries to use to convince him of the town's charm. At the Lassen River Hospital, the day begins with a sense of normalcy. The nurses, including Nichole's close friend and colleague Heidi, gather for a morning prayer. They celebrate Nichole's birthday with a surprise cake in the break room, even though her birthday is not for a few days. The light-hearted moment is a testament to the close bonds among the staff. Their humor and camaraderie help ease the stress of their jobs, which involves caring for patients like Mrs. Marsh, an elderly woman who has suffered multiple heart attacks. Nichole's dedication is evident as she connects with Mrs. Marsh, who makes a comment about smelling smoke, a detail that the staff initially dismisses as a symptom of a distant fire. They have no idea how wrong they are. The sense of security shatters when a code black is announced. The fire that was miles away has suddenly jumped the canyon, spreading with unimaginable speed due to the fierce winds. It's not a drill. The hospital's evacuation plan is immediately put into action. The administration and staff work with frantic urgency to move patients to the designated rendezvous point for transport to Enloe Hospital in Chico. Nichole, a true leader, takes charge, ensuring every patient is accounted for. Amidst the chaos, she calls her family. She tries to reach Nick, but the lines are jammed. She calls her mother, who reassures her that the boys' schools have evacuation plans and that they will be fine. However, a growing sense of panic sets in as the smoke thickens and the air becomes hot and suffocating. Nick, having heard the severity of the fire, races home only to find the roads are already blocked. He's a firefighter trained to handle these situations, but he's helpless, trapped by the unyielding wall of fire. He manages to get through to Jordan, who has left the school bus and is walking with his younger brother Logan to meet their father. Nick desperately tries to convince Jordan to turn back, but the phone call is cut off by the intense heat and static. Jordan, ever stubborn, thinks he's making a logical decision, not realizing the danger. He and Logan are now walking directly into the path of the fire. The climax is a heart-stopping race against time. Nichole gets stuck in traffic as the fire rages around her. Her car is hit, leaving her trapped in a ravine. She calls Nick, who is now safe with the boys at a local fairground, a designated shelter. The conversation is choked with emotion as she says goodbye, believing she won't make it out. Nick, however, refuses to give up. In a moment of sheer desperation and love, he tells her she has to run. He tells her that staying in the car will lead to certain death, but running, though terrifying, offers a glimmer of hope. He says she has to die fighting. This powerful moment encapsulates the family's unwavering faith and fighting spirit. The final scenes show Nichole and the boys making their separate but equally harrowing escapes. Nichole and a co-worker having abandoned their car run through the smoky, burning landscape. Nick and the boys, also forced to leave their vehicle, must shelter in a small enclosed space, their lives hanging in the balance. The movie ends with a mix of terror and faith, leaving the audience to hope that this family, though separated by the flames, will somehow reunite and overcome the unimaginable tragedy. The movie concludes the harrowing story of the Jolly family and the Paradise community as they face the devastating campfire. Having escaped her trapped car in a ravine, Nichole is on the phone with Nick, who is safe with their sons Jordan and Logan at the fairgrounds. A firefighter urges Nick to leave, explaining that the fire is spreading at an unprecedented rate, devouring a football field every second. He tells Nick to take his family and get as far away as possible, a stark reminder that even the most prepared firefighters are powerless against this force of nature. Nichole and her co-worker Karen make their way to a makeshift hospital at the local community hall. The scene is chaotic, filled with injured and traumatized people. Karen, overwhelmed and terrified, struggles to cope with the devastation, lamenting that she left Nichole behind and believes many people must be dead. Nichole, however, pushes through her own fear, her resolve strengthened by the belief that she survived for a reason and that she has a job to do. Nichole and the remaining medical staff set up a triage area tending to the injured with a lack of supplies and limited resources. She and two nursing students, Emily and Pamela, decide to risk their lives by returning to the hospital to retrieve critical medical supplies. The building is already on fire, but they push forward, demonstrating immense courage and a selfless dedication to their patients. They retrieve oxygen tanks, bandages, and other necessities, battling through smoke and debris. Nichole gets trapped inside, briefly forcing her to find an alternate, more dangerous escape route. When she finally emerges, her friend Karen is relieved to see her alive but furious at her recklessness. Nichole, however, explains that she couldn't stand by while people were in need of medicine that was just out of reach. Back at the community hall, the medical staff, led by Nicole's unwavering determination, works tirelessly. In a heartbreaking moment, Nichole and Dr. Levinson try to save Mrs. Marsh, the elderly patient, from the hospital. Despite their best efforts and the use of a defibrillator, Mrs. Marsh dies. Nichole is devastated, feeling as though she has failed, but Dr. Levinson reminds her that they did everything they could and that they must honor Mrs. Marsh by continuing to help the living. They honor the deceased with a moment of prayer, a poignant and solemn tribute to those lost in the fire. The focus shifts back to Nick and the boys. Trapped in a car, they are barely moving. The smoke is so thick they can't see the fire, but they can feel its heat and hear its roar. Logan, scared and confused, asks if the car will catch fire. Nick tries to distract them by having them sing the alphabet song, a childish tune that becomes a symbol of their fragile sense of normalcy and hope in the face of terror. The brothers also have a moment of reconciliation, with Jordan admitting to his dad that he was wrong to leave school and that he had a fight with his mother that he now deeply regrets. Nick reassures him that their mom loves them and that they will be reunited. When the road finally clears, they drive to safety. Nick and the boys are eventually able to call Nichole, who has made it to a shelter in Chico. When she sees her family, she is overcome with relief and emotion. She and Nick embrace their shared fear and love for their children, overwhelming them. Nichole breaks down, feeling immense guilt for her choices and for the possibility that she might have lost them. Nick comforts her, telling her that they have lost their home and all their possessions, but they have each other, and that is all that matters. The movie ends with a sense of hope even in the face of such profound loss. The characters find a deeper appreciation for their family and a renewed sense of purpose. Nichole, with her community around her, begins to treat the wounded, including a firefighter who was burned by his own stethoscope. The fire, which had seemed so intent on destroying everything, has also brought out the best in people. The film's message is clear: while the fire may have taken their homes and their community, it could not take their spirit or their love for one another. The ending is not a return to the paradise they knew, but a promise of a new beginning built on the foundations of faith, family, and the resilience of the human spirit. If you enjoy watching this video, then subscribe to Angel Recaps for the latest movies explanation.